All right, guys, what's up? I am Alan Pettigrew Jr.
Levi.
And I am Levi Washington.
I'm Calvin McGowan.
And I'm Philip Dixon.
And we are the Traveling Hoopers. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, did y'all hear what y'all know about the NBA this week? What games did y'all
What y'all know about the NBA this week?
what games did y'all check in for?
I want to go on record right now and tell the world that I was completely right about Blake Griffin specifically, but the Detroit Pistons so far. Alan, you were like, "Oh, Blake Griffin." It was. I think you posted a clip on the Traveling Hoopers Twitter feed of Blake Griffin getting blocked by old dude from Brooklyn, and you're like, "Oh, he losing it," and I was like, "No, he not losing it." And then like a week or two later, he dropped a 50 ball.
Yes,
a 50 ball. And it was like a 50 ball, like, it wasn't like pure athleticism or, whatever it is. Like, you see the skill set that he has. He has great footwork in the post. He can hit the outside three. He doesn't force it. Like, he doesn't, like, automatically just chuck up threes. Steph Curry. But But he puts it up when necessary. You know what I mean? Even Joel Embiid forces it too much, but Blake Griffin tends not to. And the mid range, and then he's still athletic. You know what I mean? So it was like a skill set from the 50 points. You could see that it's still sustainable. You know what I mean? Or is able to be sustainable throughout the course of the season because it was just all skill, not luck, really, or just pure athleticism. Like most people nowadays, unfortunately, in the NBA. You feel me? So, the Detroit Pistons probably have the best 4 or 5 combo in the league. Because Andre Drummond, you'll like
2020s.
Literally, you'll blink and it'll be the most quiet 2020 game you've ever seen. But he'll have a 2020 game. You know what I mean? Like he's already had 3 this season, I believe. Through two or three. Which is really, really impressive, being the fact that so far there's only been like 5 games. But yeah, they have the best 4 or 5 combo, in my opinion, in the NBA. Blake Griffin, a lot of times now in the games, he's like running like a point forward type thing. So Reggie Jackson is like off the ball, which is like the best, in my opinion. It's like what he needs to be, right? He's not a good point guard, but he can, be a decent off the ball 2 or whatever it is, or seemingly playing like a 2, even though it says 1 on the stat sheet. Ish gonna do Stanley Johnson. They got him back. He's just a garbage man. That's pretty much how he's playing, and he's not like no disrespect. Like he's just every good team needs that die for the loose balls. Little Marcus Smart type player. You know what I mean? They're looking good right now, the Detroit Pistons. And, shoot, if you haven't been checking them out, shoot, you missing out.
No, I'm going to go on record and say this. Blake Griffin, of all the NBA stars, has aged the most gracefully, game-wise. Because at the beginning, all we cared and all we saw from Blake Griffin was just dunking on people. Like, yeah, he had the footwork, but the footwork was the ends to the means of him dunking on someone. And that's all we really cared about. Back then, when he was playing for the Clippers, it was Lob City. That's all we wanted. And then when he got a jump shot, we were like, that's cool. That's not what I paid to see. But now that he is getting blocked on his dunks, his athleticism is fading.
Okay, relax. That guy blocks everybody. That guy from Brooklyn blocked Giannis.
Hey, but he didn't block Anthony Davis last night. I know you saw him get baptized.
First of all, the angles that they both came from and the angle that he came from was completely different. Secondly, the way Anthony Davis' arms don't make sense for a human anatomy. You know what I mean? They just don't make sense. But Giannis doesn't exactly. But Giannis doesn't, and he got blocked. You know what I mean? Like this guy is like a freak of nature when it comes to like protecting the rim. But Blake Griffin also has very short arms for his body. You know what I mean? So like, eventually he's gonna get blocked. But you over here saying, what did you say? You said, I don't know, but you put in some way or shape or form, you said this is like Blake Griffin's skill-wise or talent-wise or whatever you want to say is going downhill.
One of his biggest talents was his athleticism, and that's what I was talking about. And I did not expect him to have a 50-point game. I thought he would be a decent star with a 22 a game just off being able to stretch the floor. Because his jump shot has come along to that point where he can't do that, and then occasionally he'll get in the post and give you some points. But I didn't expect him to be able to give you.
He's in the post a lot more though.
Yeah,
he's in the post a lot more. But like, if you watch, sorry.
But that's part of the evolution. Like you weren't really seeing him work in the post first like 3-4 years of his career. I can't name a post move outside of him. Like,
I mean, but also
to get that dunk.
But also he had
a jump hook in college.
DeAndre Jordan in the way, clogging the paint up. You know what I mean? At least Andre Drummond can step out a little farther around, hook shot, all that kind of stuff, a little baby hook, But like Andre Drummond or DeAndre Jordan was just there for the rebounds, and that's literally it. He had nothing else to contribute towards the game besides rebounds and lobs, and that's all in block every so often a block shot. You know what I mean? But the way that, first of all, Dwayne Casey, the coach, he's a much better coach than Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers has been proven once, and it was only because he had a Hall of Fame team. That's it. In a way, Casey, he outside he just happened to run to LeBron train every single year, but he was a really big reason of why Toronto was doing what Toronto did. You know what I mean? Especially last year. And he won Coach of the Year. Still got fired, but that's a different story.
I mean, it's not important to the story, but okay.
I mean, but look, my bad that his players are so mentally weak they can't get past the Cavaliers.
There's a difference between the Cavaliers and LeBron James Cavaliers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, though.
Because that's a completely different team.
No, yeah, but you know what I mean, though, right? Like the Cavaliers team with LeBron James. Clearly, I'm not talking about a Cavaliers team with, not LeBron James. But they couldn't get past them because he was in their head, and all of a sudden it fell on their team. They're on his head. Yeah. But the coach can't go on the floor and play for you. Clearly, it worked because he beat every other team. But then all of a sudden, LeBron comes in, and all of a sudden, DeMar DeRozan just creams in his pants. Like, come on now, this is stupid.
That's facts. That's just facts.
It was dumb. Like I hated that. Like Toronto was a fun team to watch. Like they were legitimately a fun team to watch. But when you play the Cavaliers, you knew it was gonna happen because all of a sudden Kyle Lowry doesn't want to show up. And this is with Kyrie and without Kyrie. Like Kyle Lowry, you have no excuse. Like the best point guard left, and now you're going against not Paul George. You're getting against
George Hill.
What's his name?
George Hill.
George Hill, my bad. You're going to go to George Hill, and you still ain't doing nothing. You ain't still doing nothing. I'm like, come on. Like, and then DeMar DeRozan, he getting taken out of the game at fourth quarters and all that kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, his game's kind of limited, but still, at least plays on defense. Like, he one of those guys that athleticism doesn't translate towards defense just because he doesn't want it to. I'm not sure. I'm not in his head. But on the court when he's in Toronto, it was ridiculous. But I'm hoping with him specifically, I'm hoping with Pop, that Pop can pull something out of him that is more, I don't know, like it portrays better to overall wins than he did in Toronto. You know what I mean? Like, because Pop don't play no games. At the end of the day, Pop don't play no games. That's probably why I got so much respect from everybody, especially all these legends that aren't millennials.
Okay. But anything else on that Detroit game? Hey, and he also had him and Andre Drummond. Him and Andre Drummond also had a nice game against the Cleveland Cavaliers that I predicted almost a month ago. Because who's on that Cleveland Cavalier front line? Them boys sorry.
Yeah, they're looking pretty bad on the defensive side too.
Yeah.
Like,
they're not as bad as the Wizards, but
Yeah, that's true. But
I mean,
the
the
Wizards
Wizards were really-
actually have talent. They just, I don't know, man. They just looking pretty bad.
The Wizards were really dumb for getting rid of Gortat.
They got rid of him?
Yeah, he's gone.
He don't play for the Wizards anymore.
Yeah.
They thought that like
Traded
they
that man
just, about
straight
getting.
up for.
They thought about
Austin
getting
Rivers.
They thought
Wait,
about getting
for Austin Rivers?
Yeah. So like
What?
they thought about getting so they got Dwight
too.
Yeah, they got Dwight though. So I guess since they got Dwight, they were like, I don't know, maybe they were just like, since we have a chance of getting Dwight at the time, that Dwight can take his place. But all of a sudden, then they came to realize it's Dwight, and he's gonna get injured now, and all of a sudden he's gonna come play, and he won't contribute much at all. I guarantee it. Watch, and it's ridiculous because who put up crazy buckets on the other day? The Wizards.
Curry.
Yeah, it was Curry.
Oh yeah, but they put up buckets on there. They put up buckets on everybody. So like, whatever.
Curry put up 51 on that man. Like
In 3 quarters.
it was, bro. I think they have a picture of, I think it was 4 of the Warriors players, all within like 2 feet of Steph Curry in the 3-point line, and Curry still pulls up and makes it. I'm like, this is just, there's nothing you can do about that, bro. The only thing you can do is go ahead and risk getting a flagrant 2 when he hot like that. And
Honestly,
I'm sorry, as a coach, I'm like, take him out. I'm sorry, we gotta
honestly,
do it.
to tell you the
We
truth,
gotta do it.
it's funny. I'm kind of curious. So when the Lakers, did you watch the Lakers Nuggets game at all?
Yeah.
All right, so you saw Alonzo pick up defense on Harris, like full court, and then get that steal,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But like if you watch the whole game, he was doing that the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
He's picking them up, right? And Harris has no slack. He got a hand on the rock. You feel me? So I'm curious. I'm wondering because like most people in the NBA, they don't really start guarding Steph Curry until he hits, I don't know, like until he gets past half court, right? Yeah, when he's in range, right? But like you would think that the individual guarding him would step up on him early. You know what I mean? But like, because Curry's crafty, but he's not quick.
Yeah,
But here's the thing though. Like here's the thing. If Curry gets past that first defender, they have shooters open all over the place. Like if he attacks that first defender, it's over. They can throw a lob to Draymond Green or kick it out to Kevin Durant or Klay Thompson. I mean, that's fast.
I mean, honestly though, me personally, you can tell me if I'm more likely wrong on this. For that team, I would rather have anybody else score except Steph Curry. Literally anybody. Steph Curry literally is the heart and soul of that team. When he scores 50 or whatever it is, or a lot of points, it just feels different than when anybody else does it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Steph Curry, it's just a different vibe he gives. Whenever he goes off, the whole team just feels a little different. When Kevin Durant goes off, it's like, okay, it's Kevin Durant. You know what I mean? When Klay Thompson, even when Klay Thompson goes off, it feels a little different than when Kevin Durant does, honestly. You know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure that's just because they've been with each other since day one. You know what I mean? Drafted in, and KD kind of does. We saw what KD did to Oklahoma City, so the vibe of it is a little different to us. But, yeah, I'd rather have, just because of that aspect alone. KD. No, we don't.
Hey, you're not a fan. We miss you.
Why you blowing? No, never mind, man. So, get off this, man.
Is this one of them abusive relationship things?
Say it again?
Nah, bro. I'm
not. Breakup things, my guy.
No, I feel abandoned. There's a difference, bro.
Yeah, but he's not.
Man. I watched him as an acne-faced teenager out of Texas. And I was
so 2 years ago.
No. Out of Texas. And I remember seeing a commercial with him and Gilbert Arenas. And Gilbert Arenas is like, buddy's nice. And I'm like, he is. And then he left us. He left us for the other person who broke our heart, bro. Like, come on, that's disrespectful.
I mean, do whatever you got to do to get over the breakup. He's not coming back.
Bro, we got to win the championship. That's the only way. We got to win a championship, and we have to blow we gotta blow them out in at least 3 of the 4 games, and they gotta be a sweep.
So
that's the only way I
never
can
gonna happen.
So what you're hoping is,
I know. So
that
I'm never
the nature. So you're hoping the nature of Westbrook comes to be different, and he passes more, and you're hoping that the Golden State Warriors next offseason implode.
Philip, everything you just said, I'm scratching that from the record because as a person who is not an OKC fan, I don't want to hear you talk about OKC news unless it happened. When we talk about hypotheticals, I don't want to hear it. I'm sorry.
Wait, first of all, I'm not an OKC fan. I'm not a fan of any NBA team. I'm a fan of NBA players.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't have a fan towards the NBA team. Sure, they come to Kansas City, that's
Get some
different.
loyalty.
But they not. What?
Get some loyalty. How about that?
I am a loyalty to Lonzo Ball, loyalty to Rajon Rondo, loyalty to Derrick Rose. I'm good.
I mean, I don't even know.
Yeah, out here sounding like lice, boy.
You said what?
But
Yeah, out here sounding like lice. I'm gonna just attach to this player until they go away. No. I love that team. I'm going to ride for that team. I'm going to cry in a corner when they lose in the playoffs. And then hopefully nobody sees me. I'm going to go back to being an NBA fan as soon as they leave.
Like the franchise.
Every year.
it's not that serious. You don't need to cry in a corner when they lose in a playoff game.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one thinking it.
You don't know because your team has been trashed for 2 years. I don't want to hear nothing from you, Calvin. Memphis Grizzly fan.
Look, the only time they haven't made a playoff was last year. Your team hasn't done anything since they went to the finals that one time.
Hey, question.
Look, hold up, bro.
Hey, question. Real quick.
Stop it.
Coming from a person who's not a fan of like a specific NBA franchise, Calvin, let me ask you this.
All right.
So, like in baseball and in football, when you hit the postseason, right?
Right.
A lot of times, in those two specific sports, anything can happen. If the Chiefs get in the playoffs, they usually don't do anything. But you have the chance to, like, anything can happen, you know what I mean? Sometimes there's like, crazy upsets, and people make it all the way. Baseball, same thing. In the NBA, that never really happens, like, ever. So for your team to get to the playoffs, but you're like, this is as far as we get, how's that feel?
Well, my team has actually pulled off one or two of those. But it's just like the way the NBA playoffs is set up, it's up to give the best team the best opportunity to win. Because in general, the more opportunities there are to play, the more the more games that are played to decide who moves on, the more likely the best team moves on. So it's kind of just how it's set up. It's set up because I guess ideally you want the best teams in the most important games. Like, it doesn't completely get rid of the possibility of, like, some wild upset or, like, two teams. Or, well, I guess they kind of amended it now, where two teams that probably shouldn't be playing each other are, like, the 4 and 5 because of, like, division rankings or something it was. But, like, it's also just this thing where it's just, like, I don't know, it's just kind of... It's like the thing is, you kind of remember when they weren't there, and now that they are, it's like you just kind of enjoy the ride. And in fairness, pretty much, certainly in the East, nobody has mattered except whatever team LeBron was on.
But like, so in the last like 20 years, that probably had to be so upsetting. Like, your team gets to the playoff, but you're like, there's no way we're winning a championship. And it's like every year for you guys. Like, sorry, but Marc Gasol is not taking you to the promised land. And that's never been the case. Like, wait, that one year where you guys beat the Spurs when Rudy Gay was injured in the first round? Is that correct?
Yeah, I think what you're talking about, yeah, it was like we snuck in and we got the Spurs. Then there was another year we made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals. And then the Spurs actually swept us in games that were closer than they sound by that. But
I can't tell. Yeah, I don't know how the team
just like
swept.
When I say that, I mean like there's a difference between getting swept and getting blown out every game, and getting swept and it going to the wire. The result is the same, but it's like.
No, it's funny just hear like it's funny. It's funny to just hear a fan of like a team that like won't win ever, especially with Josh Selby in your team. Not Josh Selby. What's his name from KU?
Ben McLemore.
He's there too.
Bro, isn't that one of your favorite players?
Yeah, in college, not in the league. But like, it's funny to hear a fan of like a franchise like that who.
It's like I can't justify those. I'm not going to try.
You're justifying sweeps.
I can't.
There's a difference between like a blowout sweep and a sweep. Like this is a funny thing to hear.
Well, it's like, okay, would you rather watch your team get blown out every game, or would you rather watch your team like take games to the wire? Like,
he'd still lose every time. I don't know, honestly. I don't know, honestly.
I'm gonna be real with you. I'd rather have the blowout, cause you know around like halftime, yeah, we lost. You know at some point. But when it comes down to the wire, you get invested. You like, yeah, like every point matters. And then you miss a free throw, you like, oh my goodness, it's deflated, bro.
Like, you're over here going on an emotional roller coaster the entire time.
With that though, I also didn't like, because I think right before that they got rid of Hollins, and I did not like that personally.
Collins. Isn't Collins the first gay one?
Huh?
No.
Hollins, like our coach, Lionel Hollins.
Okay.
Lionel.
Okay.
I thought you were talking
I said
about
Collins. Okay.
Not Hollins. I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
Nah. And like I actually like I didn't like that, and I felt like if he was coaching, they would have won some of the games they did, or they would have won games that with Jorger coaching they lost. But
wishful thinking.
There was something else I was gonna say, but I forgot now.
Because he's so upset.
I got a question then.
He's so upset. Like, man, the pressure and the stress of being a Memphis Grizzly fan, I personally can't even like contemplate.
What pressure? Y'all count like everybody counts the Grizzlies out every year, and then they get into the playoffs every year. Like it's like
and they don't do nothing
they're
in
gonna
the
be trash
playoffs
now. The team's gonna suck and whatever. In fairness, though, once Conley got hurt last year, I knew it was over. Like,
hey, hold
except,
up.
Was that? Well, look,
Levi had a question.
Okay.
Did you like it when they fired David Fisdale, or was you cool with that fire?
I wasn't a fan of it, really. It's just kind of like, the thing is, if I'm them, I would have also realized as soon as Conley got hurt, the season was kind of over. Like, you just know, it's kind of, because it's like that core that you had that gave you all those playoffs. Gasol and Conley are the only folks left. And granted, they're talented players, but you know that but it's like they're also kind of your main guys, and you don't really have anyone else too much to kind of pick up the slack if one of them gets hurt. So, the Fisdale thing, my understanding also is that it kind of, him and Gasol didn't get along like that.
Yeah.
And I think it probably had more to do with that than necessarily winning per se, or at least.
Honestly, two things real quick about the Grizzlies. One, okay, I'll start off with this one. I'm surprised Marc Gasol is still there. I really, really am. That's a surprise to me because for a while, the centers in the NBA were like non-existent. But like for a while, he was the best center in the NBA, or one of two. You know what I mean? And also, Mike Conley for a while was considered to be the most like underrated point guard, or underrated player in the league. Right? Like he was like never an All-Star, but he was like good enough to be an All-Star like every year.
Right?
Is that still the case? Is that still the case in 2018?
Well, he's coming back off injury, so on Conley's front, that's kind of. As far as Gasol, I think some of it was also like he went to high school here. Like he spent he spent a decent chunk of his childhood here when
Paul was
here. Yeah, and like he went to high school here, and then he went to, I guess, play over in Spain for a while, and then they traded for him, and it's like I went to high school here, and I got good here, and I've had my success here. I assume with him, it's like I would like to be able to bring this place that have so much history with a championship or whatever. Granted, you can understand his frustration. I mean, look, if you were a fan of a team right now, it would be just as impossible. So
That's why I'm not.
That's
But real quick
That's
though.
sad. You a quitter.
So, but I do appreciate, especially in 2018, and especially with Kevin Durant doing what he did, I appreciate a player of a. I appreciate from one. I appreciate the player, and I appreciate the franchise that allows a player to stay with the organization, seemingly their entire career. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you never see that anymore, like at all. More than likely, Mike Conley, he's probably gonna get traded, especially he's a guard and he doesn't have the history with the city. But but Marc Gasol, if he stays and he ends his career in a Grizzlies uniform, yeah, at the end of the day, you guys are hanging banners up for conference wins. But he stayed in one place the entire time, and I really do appreciate that though, because a lot of other players, I wish they would do that, and it just doesn't happen anymore.
Like, the thing about that is also, it's like there comes a point with me where it's like, even with that, it's like, you do want to see them players stay there for forever and a day. But it's like, last year, if they had sat Mark down and be like, all right, what do you want to do because this season is lost, and everyone would come to the conclusion, oh, trading him is the best thing for him and the organization, I wouldn't have been mad. It's like you don't want to see it, but it's also like you're clearly not about to win anything this season. If you want to try and what I kind of appreciate though is that we have Jaren Jackson Jr. Granted, it's the thing is Gasol and Conley are both, regardless of how long they might able to stay good, they're both kind of on their decline. But it's the thing is there comes a point where it's if everyone in the room is hey, this kind of needs to happen, or everybody's just better off if it does, it's kind of okay.
Okay, I got you. Man, you a real true to the blood Grizzlies fan. Your whole life? How do you feel about Rudy Gay?
No, okay, so when I became a fan was honestly, I think that first time they got to that first playoffs, because that was my 9th or 10th grade year, and I just kind of started following the NBA like that. I'd gone to some games before, before they were good and everything, but I wasn't really a fan like that. But with Rudy Gay, yeah. I have respect for him, but it's the thing is, you trade him and you don't lose anything. And it's yeah, he was the go-to scorer, but it's also as a team, y'all weren't we weren't really any worse off.
Okay, that makes sense. Because a lot of people I talk to, actually I had a lot of people. The two Grizzly fans I've ever talked to before in my life, they don't dislike Rudy Gay, but I don't hear a liking towards Rudy Gay in their voice whatsoever because of how, when he was exciting, but he brought no you guys are better off without him, and that was proven when he got injured that first playoff run you guys really had. You beat the Spurs, so I don't know. It always seems like a love-hate relationship Grizzlies fans have with Rudy Gay. It's really interesting to me because right now in San Antonio he seems the most in place. This is where he belongs since he's with the Grizzlies, hitting game winners over LeBron when he was with the Heat. So.
The only thing I will say about Rudy Gay is that we haven't really had a good small forward since they moved him.
Have you had never mind,
who do we let's see, I think we've had Tyshawn Prince,
Washed up Tyshawn Prince? That
way
Tyshawn
past his
Prince.
prime.
He was old when he showed up.
Yeah,
he was.
Here's one version of Tyshawn Prince that we all respect. And that person is so far from being the person that you guys got that I don't even want to hear you considering him as a member of your team.
I'm just saying though, we haven't had a good three since we moved Gay. And
who is the three now? The starting three.
Dylan Ennis, right?
I'm trying to think. It's like
Where's his name?
I know we have Brooks, but we've done Brooks, but he's like a 2. I consider him more of a 2.
What's Wayne Selden?
I thought he was a 2.
I don't know what he's
Selden
in the
need to be
league.
coming off
No
the
idea.
bench, bro.
But
I know he not starting.
Yeah, there's no way he started. Shoot. Okay, though that's interesting. All right. So, any more topics?
we were gonna talk about should we
Let's
consider
go talk about the fight.
Melo a top 100 player all
Wait,
time?
I thought
Or was it
we haven't
something
even
like that?
finished up NBA news, have we?
No, I don't think we did. We got sidetracked.
Look, we are missing the spit heard round the world. We need to
Yes,
talk
sir.
about that.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Them boys brought out the Phantom Cam to see where that spit came from.
That's true. But look, I'm over here hearing people call it Spitgate. As soon as I saw that, I was so angry. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, don't call this that.
Bro, I'm not even gonna lie. I was thinking about saying spit gate, but I was like, doesn't that have like some legal implications to it by putting gate at the end?
No.
I'm pretty sure it does. To me, it does, bro.
To
The
me,
first
it
time-
does. Come on.
To me, it does because the first time I heard about it was like Watergate, and that was a legal issue in like the '60s, I think. But to everyone who thought Melo licking his lips was where the spit came from, that is the craziest thing I've ever heard. For the simple fact that who has ever got spit on by someone licking their lips? That is, is that physically possible? Like, unless you're doing the extreme, like,
I know. I'm
that
trying
don't
right
make no
now.
sense. You got the rubber
I ju-
ducky lips. Like, come on, yo.
I
what
just
you doing?
tried and it didn't. It didn't work.
Yeah, bro. I was like, nah. Why are we zooming in on this? This is an awkward thing to be zooming in on.
It's just awkward. It is though. But you know, Rondo spit on him. It's like one of those spits. You know what I mean? He didn't
Hey, and it was
pocket loogie into
elegant too, bro. It was elegant. Cause if
Hey,
you watch the
smooth.
video, his head doesn't move, his lips don't even move. You just see spit. You like, is this boy part Cobra? Like, where'd you learn this? Okay,
Hey, man.
Franklin the Turtle, I see you.
Hey, Rondo that guy though. But honestly, Rondo came out like, a couple days after that and said, Chris Paul's pretty much putting on the front. He's a bad guy and a bad teammate. I wouldn't be surprised by that because everybody was like, oh my gosh, Chris Paul's not a bad guy. He gives to this charity and that charity. I'm like, duh. Like, it's a celebrity. Every celebrity gives to some kind of charity. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't mean they're a good guy or a bad guy, though. But I have heard throughout the years that Chris Paul is not a great teammate to play with. One, you could say that they're soft and his demands too high of them. But also, you could say he tends to hold people back because he's like, I don't know. Like, he tends to hold people back a little bit. As you can see, Blake Griffin. He's playing a little bit better without him than he was with him. With him, he's very one-dimensional. Without him, he wasn't. He's not. But Big Baby Davis has been saying this for years. And Big Baby Davis played for both of them. You know what I mean?
No one cares about Big Baby Davis, bro.
But also, he played for both of them, and none of us have. So I got to take his word for it. To be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
I like he has a perspective on it that no one, like, very, very few people have. He's probably not the only one, but very few people have. And I'm just like, okay, I'll take your word for it. Him and Doc Rivers coached both of them. And Doc Rivers was like, you know, Doc Rivers clearly didn't get along with Chris Paul. So, you know, I got to take their words for it. Shoot. And, you know, I take their word for what it is.
Hey, I'm gonna be real with you. If somebody took a poll and had like 5 players that are most likely to spit on a player, I would have to have Rondo top 3, bro.
Oh, most definitely. And he proved he bought that action.
Like, bro, how
How
you
about Draymond Green?
Draymond Green? Nah.
He most likely to kick somebody.
Draymond Green would be the most likely to tackle you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna go ahead and do
Draymond-
I could
this.
see
I'm
that.
not
I could
worried.
see that.
I can't. Oh my god! Every time I hear Draymond Green's name, it makes my head hurt. I can't stand. I think he is the most overhyped player I've ever seen in my life.
Why?
What do you mean overhyped?
For no reason, he does
What
nothing.
do you mean overhyped?
What do you mean
He
does
did-
nothing?
Oh my god,
okay.
we have a mute his
Listen,
mic
listen,
segment
listen.
every week. Go
No,
ahead.
listen.
Philip.
The only reason Draymond Green is in the position he's in and can do the things he does It's because he's playing with suspect 2 of the greatest shooters of all time. 2 of them. That's the only way he can do these things. And then he's
he wouldn't get triple doubles if he was on a team that wasn't Golden State.
Oh, most definitely not. Definitely not. No, look, there is a reason why in the Olympics he got 0 clock, because they don't need him. Shoot,
It's the
anybody
Olympics.
can
They
do
don't
what he
need
does.
anybody.
No,
You don't got to
but
play
talent-wise,
defense in the
he's-
Olympics.
You said what?
You don't have to. For the first few rounds until you get to
Elimination.
to Spain, you don't got to play defense. It's a track meet.
Listen,
You don't need Draymond for
listen.
that.
Okay, listen. So every good championship team needs a workhorse, right? A workhorse, a guy who's gonna work extra hard, do the little things, right? I acknowledge that. I can perfectly acknowledge that. He is the worst of those people. like out of everybody who does that, he is the worst of all of them. You can go through any dynasty in the NBA that has happened, and skill-wise and what he brings, yeah, he's a loudmouth, whatever. Skill-wise and the skill of basketball, he is less talented and less skillful than all of them. He just happens to be surrounded by some of the greatest talents that we have ever seen.
Okay, in the last let's say 10 championships, name someone better than him at what he does. Basically, the utility player. The first person I'm sorry, I don't know why the first person popped in my mind was Shane Battier. And if you would not rather have Draymond Green than Shane Battier, then you, my friend, should stop eating mothballs.
Okay,
'Cause you are
honestly,
Philip, don't say it.
what does I'm putting it back on you. What does Draymond Green bring to the game, right? Because Shane Battier, he did a lot for that team. You know how many charges that man? How many times that people try to dunk on that man, and that man just stood there and took all those charges? Like that man's body had to be bruised and battered.
Everybody wasn't. I'm sorry.
And he hit the open 3. He was there what he needed for. So what does Draymond Green do better than him?
Everything.
Defense.
Rebounds.
What are you
He plays
talking about?
defense.
Rebound,
He
defense.
passes
Draymond
better.
Green-
He passes better. I mean, passing
Draymond
is a
Green's-
gift.
Okay, Draymond Green's help defense isn't better. On ball defense is, but help defense is not better at all.
Stop eating mothballs.
What?
That's the only thing I'm not. Come on, Phil.
How is it? Tell me how it
Gets
is.
in the passing lane, bro. He blocks shots. He does help
Defensive
defense.
Player of the Year? What? Twice? Is it twice? He's
No,
been
it's not
he's
twice.
been
No,
top
once.
5.
He's been in the
That's not
nomination.
twice.
Yeah, he's been.
He's been
yeah.
top 5 in
Okay.
voting for the past 4 years? Like,
Yeah.
are we serious right now? You think Shane Battier would have the same impact as
On the Warriors team.
Draymond Green if their roles were switched?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
He should be
Look,
banned to talking
listen. Draymond Green, this is literally what he does. Draymond Green will get the rebound. He'll open his mouth. His mouth never closes. He'll dribble the ball, mouth wide open, and then he doesn't even try to attack the rim. He does at all. He passes to Curry. Curry catches it and just tosses it up. That's it. And when I toss it
That
up,
is so
that
basic.
clearly is going in.
But look-
he doesn't. There's no move. He just gives it to Curry, and Curry does everything else. And Curry just happens to take 2 or 3 dribbles to get it off to get Draymond the assist.
Look, Draymond
It's his
understands his role. He understands
exactly.
he
And I'm
doesn't
saying-
need to score.
I'm not saying that he doesn't understand his role. I'm just saying anybody could do his role.
They really couldn't.
Not
Their
everybody
mindset,
can
that their
have that
mindset
role.
is of that being that guy for the team. Anybody who has had that mindset of any other team could do what he does. You're telling me Ron Artest, even in his Laker years, couldn't do what Draymond does right now with this team?
Can Ron Artest
no,
pass?
he's not a great passer. He's not a
Like-
great
You don't need to be a
passer,
great passer passing the ball.
But that's the thing about
passing
Jalen
the ball.
Hurts. He does it all.
Passer
What you do, they have
allows-
to catch it. They have to have the IQ to actually
Okay,
throw
first of
the
all,
pass.
listen. You don't the passes Draymond Green makes. They aren't good. Like you're not looking like, oh my gosh, he's a fazant with the ball. No, he just throws it up. He just throws it up, and they do everything else. You know what I mean?
Are we
Watch. You know how many
Are we
times
watching the
Draymond
same
Green?
player?
We are watching the same play. You know how many times Draymond Green throw?
Yeah,
he happens to have really, Golden State because they recruit very, very well, right? So every big man they have, besides Zaza, which was like an off year, it's like a weird random year. But besides him, most players they had were like really athletic and get up there and just dunk, right? He throws those guys around the rim. A lot of them aren't great passes, but those guys are so athletic they're able to finish. And like I said before, he doesn't thread the needle or he doesn't, whatever that saying is. I'm not a fazant with words. He doesn't make like dime passes to Steph Curry and Klay Thompson for them to, oh my gosh, what amazing pass, get a shot off. No, he just hands them the ball pretty much, and they do everything else. He doesn't. The passes he makes does not make him like, oh, well, he's a good passer. No, he passes the ball. He knows his role. But I'm saying, if Ron Artest could have done the exact same thing. And and hit the three more consistently.
Hey, hold up, guys.
Hold up.
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, come in. All right.
Oh, stop this nonsense, man.
Hey, my bad. I just got a letter from the NBA that says you tripping and you out of your mind. Like, come on, bro.
Hold up, though. Hold
He
up.
tried
though.
to
Team
prove his
captain,
case,
okay.
and
I see you.
Like here's
You,
okay.
Gilbert Arenas, and Paul Pierce are going to make a great 3-on-3 team for the Hot Take Championships. I'll see you.
I mean, my take isn't that hot though.
Hey, bro,
Like-
I need you to at him and hashtag NBA Twitter and see how much. Hopefully, you get a lot.
that
But it
gonna
won't
be-
happen though.
That would be
It won't
fun to
happen.
watch. That would be fun to watch.
I
I'm
need
not
you to
gonna
do it,
pretend.
bro.
That's fine with me because I love arguing basketball. So like, it's
Nah, like,
the characters
I feel
aren't
like-
enough.
I feel
I can't
like
wait for these bot accounts to get you.
Draymond and would just spend the next week roasting you, and then Embiid would do it just for entertainment purposes.
And guess what?
No, Drake.
I'm fine with
Embiid
that.
might agree with him just to be messy.
No, because look, I got love for Embiid. Embiid, the best center in the NBA in my eyes. Draymond's not even the power forwards. What is he? I don't even know. Like, he can't be top 5.
Like
top
Maybe
5 in
top
what
5.
positions?
Embiid roasts you for entertainment purposes. It has nothing to do with whether or not you like him. He does it just because he can roast people.
Shoot, that's fine with me. Do that. I appreciate a good roaster doing his job. But Draymond's not.
Like
He's an NBA, so he's a good NBA player. But in the context of the NBA, he doesn't do anything for me.
So basically,
Like,
if you were having a draft, he wouldn't be that high for you. Like you had a
You said what?
redraft. If you had a redraft for the start of a new league, I'm assuming Draymond Green isn't going until like the 5th round. That's 150 players, by the way.
Draymond Green is a restricted free agent.
you're that low on him.
What does that have to do
Wait, how's
with
it
anything, bro? I'm talking about a
how's it
redraft.
restricted free
Dumb
agent?
Yeah, he ain't getting drafted. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, no, now you
That's
clearly
disrespectful.
no.
I'm assuming.
Like here's okay. I feel like you're conflating the Golden State team that currently exists with the team that always was. Draymond's been doing this the entire time. He's
Yes,
been making
and
these
instead of
Michigan
passes.
State.
And here's the thing. Weren't you one of the people who a few weeks ago, when I was saying I wasn't that high on Trae Young's passing, and saying he makes smart passes, not amazing passes?
Was that
All
me?
here
I
wanting
don't
to-
remember it anymore.
wanting to say that isn't that fine though. Draymond makes
Okay,
smart
but-
passes. You're not gonna get wowed by his stuff too much.
No,
You
that's fine.
don't need him to get wowed by it. You need him to throw a good pass. You need somebody with good enough hands to catch it, and you need somebody to shoot the ball.
Which is fine. I'm not saying he's not making the right or wrong pass, right? I'm saying he's making the right pass, right? He doesn't need to do too much because he got people over there that can do too much and be successful at doing too much. I'm just saying
Westbrook?
that's it. You said what?
Hey,
No,
watch
I'm
your
saying
mouth. Watch your mouth. I heard you.
No, I'm saying people on like Golden State that can do too much and be successful with it, right? Clay, KD, even for KD, just
Oh wait.
Steph Curry. I don't even know why I just blanked on his name. He just dropped a 51 ball. But I'm saying like he don't need to do too much. I'm not saying that's not smart. Yeah, that's smart. But I'm saying, crazy. He made the right pass. Plenty of people can make that right pass and do that kind of stuff. That's different. Trae Young, he does make the smart pass. But also, he can, I know everybody saw that half spin hezzy he did, where he got to the cup. That was he got that skill set too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so let's not
it's fair.
compare, please. Because when he makes a smart pass, but when he's in a bind, he can go and get that bucket also. Draymond, when he's in a bind, can he go get that bucket?
Hey, I got a question for
He can
you.
go to the rim.
I got a question because you bringing up his offense. His offense has never been a thing that we've all been like, yeah, that's why we want him on our team. I got a question. Do you believe that Draymond Green would have the same exact stats on a completely different team?
Not at all.
All right.
If he wasn't in the situation he was in and got picked up by Golden State, and Golden State being on this ridiculous run they've been in recent years, to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure, because at the end of the day, you got to be able to score the ball. In most circumstances, right? In most circumstances, you got to be able to you have an offensive skill set in some kind of way. I'm not sure he'd be in the league still.
No,
What?
okay.
Oh,
So
I can't
okay,
take-
here's
If he
here's-
wasn't, if Golden State, if Golden State hasn't been what it's been, and Golden State wasn't smart enough to pick a player like him up who knows his role, who is going to do his role, I'm not sure if he would be in the league still. To be perfectly honest.
I think in
Stop it.
it, like here's on a different team. I think chances are his scoring numbers tick up some, his assist numbers tick down some. Because you are right in that those Curry and Thompson are two amazing shooters. In fairness to Draymond, though, they were not always this good. When they are better now than they were certainly when they all started playing together. So,
Question, Calvin. Question for you, Calvin, specifically. You said that.
oh, also though, I will say he
Excuse
would
me.
get a lot more texts.
But you said just now that on a different team, you said things might go down, things might go up. One thing you said might go up was his points. People have to help off of him extremely right now and in recent years because of KD, Steph, and Clay, because you have to really put bodies on them, and you see Draymond with wide open jump shots all the time because whoever's defending him is more focused on everybody else. If that happens, if he's on a different team, I personally don't believe that his scoring would go up, because people would actually be playing defense on him because they wouldn't have to worry about, a Steph, KD, and Clay being on the exact same team. And he has shown me nothing in his offensive skill set that says, hey, Draymond, go give me a bucket. No, he can't do that. Like, he really can't do that. So, like, why do you personally think that his scoring would go up in any way, shape, or form? Because I believe it definitely would go down.
Here's the thing. First off, he would actually
why
try
would
to
it go
score.
Yeah, it'd be more
Because he has all those other options, and he knows his role is not to score. He's not trying to score like that. He's just not. Why? Like, if I'm the dude who, and my job is to play defense and and keep the offense moving and get the rebounds and all of that, and I have dudes on my team who are all-time offensive players, why am I looking for a bucket?
So I personally have seen too many times of this man. I've seen too many clanks and air balls at the end of shot clocks because he can't go get himself a bucket whatsoever. Like, this man at the end of shot clock, sorry, I know you're here to move the offense along, but you still what you want to make this an empty possession. All of a sudden, in 3-2, especially with this whole new shot clock thing coming around with the 14 seconds off the offensive rebound. Like, there's been a lot of air balls and a lot of clanks because this man, the ball's in my hand. Let me just hoist this 3 up. No,
I mean,
you can't.
Dudes
Come on
hoist
now.
3 ups at the end of shot clocks all the time. It's nothing new.
But it don't look as bad as him.
But at the
man,
end of the day,
Somehow,
all you talking
I feel
about
like
is
you
offense.
you just don't like Draymond. You just don't.
Yeah, he
like
just
Draymond.
doesn't because he
No,
hasn't
no.
said nothing about defense. Nothing.
So
And
it's
that's
not
what
even
win
about the defense.
championships.
I just think he just doesn't like Draymond.
Yeah,
Because
that's
it's like
what
the
I'm
thing
saying.
is, because the thing is, with your same logic, there are a lot of dudes in the league right now who have no business in the league right now because you personally would not put
And guess
them in
what?
the league
I'm
right
clowning them too. I'm
No,
clowning
if
them
you
too.
don't think that Draymond Green is literally a shorter version of what Joakim Noah was, then you are tripping. That's it. Both great on defense. Both bring a lot of energy. Can rebound. Decent enough passers. I'm telling you, I really don't want to use Joakim Noah on a different team to show because he was already injured. But that is literally the same player. And at some point, Joakim Noah was top 5 in the MVP voting. He's literally just a shorter, more tenacious version than Joakim Noah. That is saying
Whoa.
a lot.
First of all, Joakim at 2010, 2011, Draymond has never been that tenacious. This is like, honestly, I'm honestly not lying.
Are you
defensive
Moss
defensive player of the
balls.
year,
You
Joakim?
been
Triple
eating
double
moss
monster,
balls.
Joakim?
Come on, yeah.
You serious?
Yes.
Prime Joakim.
Yes.
You think Draymond has been more tenacious than prime Joakim?
Yes. Especially
I don't know what's saying no more.
especially when they won that first championship. The first 2 years. I think he's chilled out since they got KD. But those first 2 years, yes. And there's no real, I don't know, stat for tenaciousness. But if we want to go with, let's say, text, pretty sure Draymond Green has more technical fouls. Without a doubt.
I that's a stat I have no idea about. Like I couldn't even like try and guess about that. But first of all, offensively, completely different players. Completely different players. And Joakim didn't. Joakim was on good teams, but Steph Curry good teams, Golden State good teams, nowhere near shape or form. And Joakim was still doing his thing. I don't think that. I don't know. Draymond has not shown me anything that says that could be the case.
I mean,
Maybe it could be the case. Maybe it could be the case. But I personally have seen nothing from Draymond that shows me that he could do things of that nature. And I mean, yeah, they both won a Defensive Player of the Year once. You can make an argument that they both maybe should have won it more, or whatever. But I don't think I don't know. I don't think that Joakim. It's an interesting comparison, and I get why you make the comparison. But Draymond Green has shown me nothing that shows me the case personally.
So, just to interject numbers because I got curious with the comparison. So through this point, roughly the same age. So over their careers to this point, Draymond has averaged 9.3 points. Noah averaged 9.9. Noah 1.5 blocks. Draymond 1.1. Draymond 1.4 steals. Noah 0.9, so right at 1. Draymond 4.6 assists. Noah 2.7. Draymond 6.9 rebounds. Noah 9.4. Skipping down a little bit, Draymond 32% from deep. Noah didn't take any threes. Draymond, 43% shooting on the whole. Noah 50%.
Yeah, I mean, but when they're both in their primes.
What about free throw?
Free throws. Let's see. Hold up. Free throws. Draymond 70%. Noah 72%.
I honestly didn't think it was that high. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't think it was gonna be that high. I was like,
Wait, are you talking
he said
about
32. I
Draymond's
said,
or Noah's?
whoa. Noah's for sure.
Oh, okay.
I
didn't expect 72.
Yeah, he's 72. He said 72. I said, huh, okay. But like, also you gotta consider the way NBA played, even in 2010, is nothing like it was now. Nothing like it was. I mean, like the fact that you could be a center, power forward, and take 0 threes is non-existent. You know what I mean? Like that's not how it works anymore.
What's his name?
Even Andre Drummond took a 3 the other day.
Did he make it?
Yeah, he did. It was like in like the play. Like the play was for him to shoot the 3. He did.
Yeah.
JaVale McGee has shot 3 threes this year. It has made 2.
Choppers.
Like,
shooter in the league.
relax. So
He's better than Curry now. It's official.
Oh yeah, right. The stats prove it. But yeah, it's just like the way the whole game has changed is a little ridiculous to me. But that's on a whole different other spectrum of things. But that's interesting. I've never to hear the side by side comparisons of the two. That's a very interesting thing.
Yeah.
But imagine, honestly, okay, Joakim Noah, his stats were like that.
It's like to this point in
he played on
careers,
Bulls team. But he played on the
age.
Bulls team with he played on the Bulls team before Derrick Rose, before 08, 09 with who?
Well, this is
and then he played on a battered team with he had the couple 1 or 2 years with Jimmy Butler, 2 or 3, I don't remember specifically. Which he did that with Nate Robinson, where Nate Robinson blocked LeBron, which is crazy still. Nah, relax. But then he played for, kind of played for Knicks. He kind of did that.
He dressed
that
up for the Knicks. He played dress up for the past 2 years before they was like, you gotta go, bro.
He showed up
doing Halloween.
with his paycheck.
He was doing Halloween for them. But then, for their numbers to still be comparable, and Draymond has Steph Curry, or one of the greatest offensive teams of all time, is still interesting to me.
Like,
if you don't think those numbers would go up just because he would get more touches, then I am confused on what you do in your imaginary basketball time.
Wait, are you talking about Draymond on a different team?
Yes.
I think that for your touches to go up, you have to be on the court, and he would, early on in his career, I don't think if he was on another team, he would have been given the opportunity to have been on the court, honestly, as much.
His fight would have gave him some opportunity, bro.
I don't think so, man.
A
lot of people got fight.
Think of it.
A lot of people got fight, but a lot of people playing in China right now who got fight too. So who? Plenty of people, man. Plenty of people.
Name someone who played in NBA who has elite
I'm saying I don't think
that mentality.
I don't think that he would have made it that far. He would have been one of those people that'd be like, who? He had just been the who. That's what I'm telling you. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the opportunity that he was given, he has taken full advantage of. There's no doubt about that. But I'm saying if that one opportunity was not given to him, that I don't think he would even gotten a chance to do any kind of stuff with any other NBA team, which means those stats wouldn't have gone up because he would not have been on said court.
I mean, we can say that about a lot of dudes in the league. If they didn't get this opportunity, they wouldn't be the dude that we know them to be today. Of course not.
Who?
Look.
Because his skill,
man.
Because his skill wise, a lot of other people, they probably have more skill than him.
Are you
At his position?
Say it again.
At his
Are you saying at his
position?
position?
No. Okay, so let's say another hustle guy, right? Tristan Thompson, another hustle guy.
But
He is on first of all, one reason why he's still with the Cavaliers is because LeBron James. Point blank, period, right? LeBron James, for a year, he was his guy. And after that, he kind of just threw him to the wayside, right? But for that 1 year, he was his guy and got this man paid. But at least Tristan Thompson, for that 1 year, when it came to like, what team needed, like offensive rebounds and just rebounds in general, he was on the boards like crazy, right? Especially offensive rebounds. On the boards like crazy. So he has like a skill set in that aspect. And the Cleveland Cavaliers saw something in him beforehand, even he was like a lefty, you know what I mean? Which is like weird to me also. I read a whole Sports Illustrated article on it the other day. He has like the offensive or like the rebounding aspect, which is like, the rebound. That's all I need. That's all I wanted him for, the rebounds. But even him, I'm not right now, if LeBron hadn't done what he did for him, which for I don't know what reason, he would be a journeyman right now. And he has that skill set. So
he has what skill
you
set?
cannot compare those two.
the rebounding skill set.
All he does
The
is
rebounding
rebound.
skill set. Is the rebounding skill set.
Yeah, that's it.
But specifically
Like-
offensive rebounds. So like a championship level team would want somebody who could get them extra possessions off the offensive rebound, and that's
To
like
come
what
off
he
the
did, and that's what he
bench.
did for Cavaliers.
That's it.
Which got him paid a lot of money.
And got him
Like-
a baby with Khloe Kardashian, who
That is not
You know what?
that is not an accomplishment. I do not consider that an accomplishment.
Lily,
It's a curse.
it's an accomplishment because they only go after stars, and the fact that they went after you means you had potential. And
Maybe his personality good, man.
he
Oh
cheats
my
for a living.
goodness.
No. Bro, let's go ahead and move it to something else because you got me over here pulling my eyebrows out. And I got pictures later, yeah. But yeah, Philip brought this up to me on Twitter the other day. Someone who, do you remember whose post it was? But I think it was ESPN. They were talking like somebody quoted it and said they don't know if Carmelo is a top 100 player of all time. And
Why not?
I'm gonna be real with you. As someone who has watched Melo his whole career, he had the potential, and then it kind of just got pooped away with his time at New York. Because there's just something missing. Like, he is a scoring machine, but there are so many scoring machines that I would probably rather have over the past couple years than Melo. Like, to me, he's like 3 steps away from being, not even 3 steps, a step away from being Bernard King. And I wouldn't even say Bernard
Like
King is
we gotta
top
specify
100.
like not talent, like talent. That's a different story.
yeah.
But like what he's brought to the table, legit.
Yeah, if you look at his career, he is amazing. But scoring wise, but if you look at anything else, it's very, very shaky with that guy.
See, here's
Calvin, can you bring up his stats so we can
25,
not just sound
6.
I have
25
them
minutes.
up for a second, and then we went on this whole thing with Draymond Green. All right, so over his career to this point, he's averaged. Let me pull this whole thing up. 24 points, 1 steal, 3 assists, 6.5 rebounds. Shot 81% from the stripe. 34% from deep. 44% just period.
all right. Calvin, can me a favor?
Alright, what's up?
Can you look up the stats of Rick Barry?
Rick Barry?
Yes.
Okay.
Watch this, Alan.
Yeah. Hey, and when you after looking up the stats for Rick Barry, can you also see if there's a way you can pull up the stats for every player who has averaged 24 points over their entire career?
Dang, this man think you in the database.
Yes, Levi
So-
is not Levi, but Calvin is our statistician. Levi is our quiet person.
Would you say Paul Gasol is?
They don't have the complete data for this person. Can't be. Rick Barry or Ricky Barry? Because what they have is
Rick
Ricky
Barry.
And I do not know. Hold up.
Barry with an A, not an E.
Oh, okay. That might be the confusion.
Hey, Ralph, even I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
All right.
Yeah, bro, you gotta know your legends.
Good lord. These numbers look basically
Exactly.
identical.
Exactly.
24.8 points, 2 steals. Keep in mind though, some of these stats they didn't keep them the entire time he played. 4.9 assists, 6.7 rebounds, 89% from the free throw line, 29% from 3, 45% just shooting period.
Okay, so my point of bringing that up is there are so many people in the league that people from our generation just forget about that put up buckets and did a lot on the offensive end, just like Carmelo, that aren't even mentioned. So imagine if Rick Barry's one, and everybody knows him for the underhanded free throw. That's literally all everybody knows him for. If he's one of the person that this is the case for, imagine how many others there are. So like I'm just like, all right, there's been this many players in the league. You know, if Carmelo wants to put up, they're good numbers, but in the greatest of all time, they're low key pedestrian. Yeah. So like in that context at least. So like let's get real about it, because like those numbers right there, those are Kobe numbers. Like legitimately, if you compare those numbers to Kobe's numbers, they're the exact same also. So it's pretty wild.
Yeah. We almost have to get into like, I wish there was a better way to map out like what you look like on defense. Because if you're talking about like a complete player, Melo had a major hole on that side just because of effort.
I say when he was younger, when he was playing for Denver, he played pretty good defense.
Right, but
when he was playing for Denver.
How long has it been since he was traded? I want to say close to 7 years.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
About 7 years.
Almost 7 years.
When's the last time you seen a defensive outside of Melo yelling "Get the F out of here" every time he rebounds? What defensive highlight have you seen from Melo? Or just like a play where you're like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, Melo did that.
That's big facts, because I don't even see no help side blocks from this man. This man's 6'10". You can get one help side block.
He's 6'8". No.
He tall enough. You can get one. You can get one help side block. I don't see any of those either.
Yeah, bro.
Those are the easiest kind of blocks to get. Nate Robinson gets those blocks.
Fact.
Nate Robinson also a legend. And gravity doesn't.
He a little man legend.
Gravity does not apply to that man.
He's one of them dudes, like he's probably not going in the Hall of Fame, but when we're older and talk about players back in our day, he's one of them dudes you mentioned.
Who's not going in the Hall of Fame?
I don't think Nathan's going in the Hall of Fame.
Okay,
like,
I thought you was talking about Melo.
It's like I like Nate a lot, but he's not going in the Hall of Fame.
No. Oh, not at all.
No, he'll be a folk hero.
Like
he'll be a folk hero.
No, I'm telling you, when we were talking to our kids, when they're talking about all these new players, especially if there's a new short guy that gets into the league, they're gonna be like, he ain't nothing. You ever seen Nate Robinson? Boy, sit down and watch these highlights. It's like, what is this, YouTube? Like, yeah, bro. You don't know nothing about this.
Look at your kids sound ugly, yo. That's crazy.
Shut up, Phil. That's why nobody laughed. Yeah, bro. But cricket. Any other critiques on Melo? Because
honestly, the more I talk about Carmelo, the more depressed I get, because I don't like Carmelo whatsoever.
Yeah. Okay.
Hold up. Are there players that you do like? Like I'm not a Carmelo fan either, but it's just like, okay, are there any controversial players, like players who talk a lot of mess or otherwise controversial in their playing style that you actually like?
Like present day or like overall ever?
Just like currently that is still in the league. Because they're the ones we're going to talk about most.
Players that I like that are controversial in the league.
Yeah, either the style of play or the fact that they're like assholes.
Outside of Embiid.
I don't. Okay, I'm gonna come. Let me think about that. Talk about something else, and I'll think about that right now.
All right. So as far as Melo, in the past decade, we can agree that top 100 player, right?
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
ESPN's putting him at 59, so ahead of Paul Gasol. I mean, would you say Paul Gasol's better or had a better career than Carmelo Anthony?
No. I would not say Paul Gasol had a better career.
I would to this point.
Been on better posters all day. Those Blake Griffin
I
posters
mean,
look beautiful.
He's also like Gasol also has rings.
So I will forever be the person who does not care about your ring total, especially if I look back and see that you play with a Hall of Famer or at that time a top three position person on your team, and you weren't in the mist. Like he was the second scoring option, but during that time, Andrew Bynum was like coming up and was like a top 5 center. You had Kobe.
He was top 2 at the time.
Yeah, like you had Kobe. Like it's nice that you're here, but
I mean,
I almost feel like you're
it's kind of no. It's kind of naive.
Wait.
It's kind of naive to think that he had nothing to do with that, though.
Oh no, I'm not saying he doesn't, but I feel like he can be replaced by somebody.
I mean, Melo could be replaced on pretty much all the teams he's been on, and they still not do much of anything. So, I mean, at least Gasol was just kind of there on a Lakers team, like, and he got a ring.
Yeah.
He got
like,
2 of them.
He's got a ring or 2. Like,
yeah, he got 2 of them.
And granted, I'll also say I'm not necessarily crazy about using rings as metrics for greatness, but it is a good way to start cutting the list down.
Yeah, but when you start doing that, you cut people out like Allen Iverson and Charles Barkley. And if you don't think
those guys
players,
had great moments.
I'm
They
not.
had great moments in the league.
If you're having a conversation with somebody, and all of a sudden you start using the ring theory to like start cutting people down, and then people are like, well, that cuts down Allen Iverson, then you should stop talking basketball with that person immediately. Because clearly that person can't like use their critical thinking processes in their mind to figure that stuff out. Like, no, even though they have no rings, they still belong. Like, you can't have a conversation with somebody about greatest all-time players and like Karl Malone. Yeah, he played the Jordan era. Duh, he has no rings, or anybody from the 90s at that. Like,
Well, it's like the thing is,
for example,
it's like the thing about the rings thing though. It's not even so much having a bunch of rings. It's just like they have 1 ring, because most players don't have more than like 1, maybe 2.
So are rings almost like a scapegoat thing, just to be like nope, this person's definitely better because he has a ring. Like, come on.
No, but
I mean,
I think people.
that's kind of how it gets used.
But I think people really, that's how it gets used. People think that, but then if you look at Kevin Durant's situation, people really don't believe that. Because, yeah, he's getting rings, but everybody's like, but the way you're getting these rings, like, you're kind of a bum for that. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's gotten 2 rings.
Like, no one's really done what he did before,
I'm not
though.
gonna start this.
Like, that was, his case is very much a unique instance, because he went to a team that already won 73 games the previous season and went to the finals. Like, fairness to him.
7 games.
With fairness to him, if he's not on at least that first team, like that first team the year he's on there, they don't win that ring. But like, you were on a team that, like, you went to a team that did not need you at all. They were already there before you got there. And like his stuff and the way the Warriors are set up now is the kind of stuff that might get to the point where it's like, okay, we can't use rings at all as a metric for greatness anymore, because you're gonna look up in a decade and like half the dudes from this era have a ring because they bench rode on Golden State.
Luckily though, we got people in this world like Dame and CJ who are like, CJ tweeted out a couple of weeks ago, "Nah, that's weak, yo." It's like he's like, "Nah, that's weak," and then Dame's like, "Yeah, that's weak." Like, we have people like that. So hopefully, these AAU coaches out here are teaching their kids about competitive nature and not being weak and mentally weak and just going to taking the easy road. Hopefully we got Coach Martin's out there teaching a bunch of these kids like that. You know what I mean?
Coach,
Is this before or after they pay them to play on the AAU team?
Wait, you get paid to play on AAU?
What was it?
say Coach Martin?
Not with your skill level.
And look, I'm not worried about me. Look,
Sorry, that was so
I'm not
random.
worried about me. I know what I can do with my genetics to go ahead and get me a kid that can bring home $5,000 a month. So if I gotta do what I gotta do, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I don't care. I'll make a little test tube baby. You go out there and make daddy proud, okay? No, speaking of that, did y'all see the there was a video of a quote unquote kid that's playing at like
Sex quote.
bro, no, if you saw this video, you would know what I'm talking about. There's this quote unquote kid. He's already, it looks like he's playing with like 5th or 6th graders. Dude is like 250 and not a diesel 250, a fat round ball 250, and standing
saw
at
that.
like 6'5" already. And
Yeah, I saw
Buddy
that.
has whips out of this world. I'm just like, there's no way. There's no way that's a kid, bro. That
I mean,
somebody just
that's
put
funny.
that. Somebody just put that fat child and was like, "Hey, bro, put this jersey on," knowing darn well this man is like 16 years old. Like,
It's
don't play
hilarious.
with
So
these
see,
kids.
I always watch those videos. They've been around since YouTube's been a thing. It's just kids who can just like hoop, or kids who are like just like athletic freaks. It's always funny to see like where these kids go, because a lot of these kids tend to have like some hype behind them by the internet hype. It's always funny to see where these kids go though, because there's been a couple of those kids that oh my gosh, that's so crazy, and all of a sudden they end up overseas or playing at Mizzou or something.
Who's another player you could think of that's like that?
Deuce Bello, do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Deuce Bello.
he had a
Deuce
decent
Bello. No, in
career
high
at
school,
Baylor.
look up. Deuce Bello has Suspect, the best hoop mixtape of all time. Suspect, the best one ever. It was what what was that? 2012 maybe 2011, 10, and he coming out he was like in middle school, getting in high school, bounce out this world. He dunking on kids. He just smiling out North Carolina, wild. Goes to Baylor, gets no clock at all, and then he ends up transferring because he got no clock to Mizzou, and then he got no clock, and you never saw from him again. And where's he at now? I don't know. So
It
it's
sounds like a
he's-
basketball horror story.
Oh, it's sad. It's a very, very sad thing because it turns out he had no skill. He was all bounce, and he just could translate to nothing. And every time I see one of these kids, but who was that? The one kid for the Knicks right now, the bucket getter.
Not.
Alonzo
not-
Trier?
Oh,
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah. How he was like on Sports Illustrated, all kind of stuff. I remember seeing him when he was really young too. And it's
Really?
funny. You haven't seen the video? You didn't see
What?
it when he had little kid with braids?
That's not Alonzo Trier.
Oh, it's not?
No, that's I know who you're talking about. I think he's still in college. He's either still in college or he just graduated. And he was
Hey, man.
I haven't heard anything else, but I know he was putting up buckets at a really small college in New York.
All right, never mind. Continue.
If I saw his mixtape when he was 12 years old, I don't know who he is anymore. Like, it's like you see the mixtape and it's like, okay, that's nice. Go on with your day. Like,
No.
why?
No, y'all remember seeing a kid's mixtape and then you graduate from high school and college? You're like, bro, you haven't graduated yet?
No.
No, Cassius Stanley. I know the name probably doesn't ring a bell, but they were saying like,
He went to high school in North Carolina, right?
at the time he was going to school in North Carolina, but this is
Okay.
finally his senior year, and I'm like, bruh, there's no way you're still in school, man. I remember when you were, because he's the same exact size pretty much, doing almost the same exact things, and I'm just like, dude, I thought you were my age. Like, this is crazy.
I mean, I don't know. Look, I don't know about you guys, but me, when I see it, or used to this case, when I saw a good, because now balls like to take everything over. when I saw a good hoop mixtape, like a good one, it made my day better.
Oh yeah.
Like it just made, like the soundtrack behind the instrumentals they had. Like the first time I saw Ben McLemore's hoop mixtape, it made my day better. Like it just made my it was like this is amazing. Like it was so fluid and everything going along with it. I was like, this is just nice. Ball's Life tried to do their thing, but it's just not the same.
Oh yeah. No, Levi, do you remember being in marketing class and we used to watch hoop mixtapes?
All day long. You remember Corey Saunders?
Where's
that guy?
Corey Sanders, bruh.
Sanders. I said
Yeah,
Saunders. Sanders.
I think he's going back to school this year. He was playing for Rutgers for a minute. He's either going overseas or D League, or he's going back to college. I'm not sure. I know last time I heard he was on the fence, but I know he did go into the NBA draft combine.
Oh, okay.
Don't know what happened since, but I know he didn't get drafted, so I think he went back to school.
It's all bad, man.
Corey, bruh, I'm telling you, between him and Marcus Levette,
Man, oh my goodness, bro.
just nasty.
Just nasty, bro. And they're not even in the league. Not even close to the league.
Like, and I think the funniest thing about it is when they used to put the beats right with the crossover. So as some kid is screaming in pain from an ankle being broken,
Ankle breaks.
all you hear is the beat dropping, like bang. I was like, oh, y'all just rude, but this is so beautiful to watch, man.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. To be an editor for a hoop mixtape or Ball is Life, that's gotta be a fun job, yo. That's gotta be a real fun job.
One of the dudes that does that for a living, he lives in Dallas.
So what you doing? Get off your couch and go talk to this man.
Bruh, I DM'd him. He ain't DM me back. He don't care about me, bro.
You got an email. You can't DM.
Bro, I'm DM, man. I don't got his email.
Sure, you can find it. You better go into a catalog somewhere.
Nah, bro. I might. I also might run into him one of these games out here, bro.
Big
Be
facts. Big facts.
Actually, there are definitely games where I'm going to run into this man. I already know he gonna be set up. But y'all boys got anything else?
Shout out to my Lakers, and that's it. I said shout out to my Lakers.
too.
I'm not a Lakers fan. I'm a Lonzo fan. So
I'm sorry.
I'm a Lakers
why are you
fan,
sorry,
man.
man?
Then why shout out the team?
Lonzo.
Just shout out Lonzo.
You're right. My fault, Calvin. My fault. I know I shouldn't have shouted out the championship team when you got to deal with the Memphis Grizzlies.
Bro, Lakers aren't a championship team.
Well,
They're a LeBron
traditionally.
team. They're not a championship team.
Traditionally, we're not talking about this year. No,
Or
but
the past 7.
sound good. Wait, how many championships y'all won, Allen? For the Thunders.
The Thunder?
Yeah.
Are you talking about? If you're talking about Seattle, I think we got a championship.
This is the Thunder. You're not a Seattle Supersonics
bro.
fan. You a Thunder fan.
Look, that's so true.
You're over here trying to combine. Get over here. Yeah, but I watched the Lakers game the other day. And people gotta not necessarily step up, but people playing bigger roles, and people are finding out who the real team is. Since Lonzo and since Rondo and Brandon Ingram aren't playing. To me
MVP.
personally, it looks like they're playing faster. Like they're putting up like similar points, but like the way they're getting these points seems faster. Especially when you got Lance. Like when Lance has the ball, push. Lonzo has the ball, push. Rondo has the ball. He pushes sometimes, but when he's not pushing, he's dribbling in circles. You know what I mean? Because he don't really play off the ball. You know what I mean? Because the jump shot is suspect. Not suspect as it used to be, but still suspect. So like when you got like Lonzo out there who can stretch the floor a little more, and you got Kuzma playing more because Brandon Ingram is out. It just shows what they can do and step up in a bigger role. And I think compared to the first two games, when those two come back, you're going to see certain changes come to the team that might have not been the case with those two being suspended. Because LeBron, with those two being gone, LeBron actually got to figure out who is his guys right now, who is not his guy, or who he can like depend on in like certain games and certain situations. And we all know, no matter what, even when the games really don't matter, LeBron is thinking about that kind of stuff because he's LeBron James. That's pretty much all it is to it. So yeah, it's a fun thing. Like I mentioned earlier, JaVale McGee shoot a couple 2-3s. I'm like, relax, man. Just catch those rebounds, those alley oops. Josh Hart, he has heart, but like he was getting cooked sometimes on defense, and Stan Van Gundy and Mark Jackson were like, oh, his defense is this, that, whatever. But he kept getting cooked, so it kept annoying me. And is anybody else on that team? Oh, Make 'em Dance Lance, I guess is his nickname now. That was fun to watch for, like, he has the loudest 12 points possible. Like, he scored 12 points, but, like, you felt like he just scored more. Like, it was I thought he had 20, honestly. But, but it was like, oh, he scored 8. I was like, okay. And then, is there anybody else on that team I can talk about? Nope, that's it. Yep, so
how about Kyle
the Lakers could. I saw Kuzma gonna step. He stepped up. Brandon Ingram's, out, so he was able to do so. Like I mentioned, he hit that 3 at the buzzer beater because he can stretch the floor very good. I'm not sure who's a better 3-point shooter between him and Brandon Ingram, but when Ingram comes back, to have Lonzo, LeBron, Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, and honestly whoever else. This year might not be like, this year is going to be I think a pretty good to decent to good lineup, but next year I think it's going to be a very, very good lineup whenever they're all in the game together. But they're all still, it's early in the season, still learning each other's plays, all kind of stuff. Brandon Ingram still bouncing off defenders because he's fragile. Lonzo still getting his legs up on her own from not playing basketball for like 5 months, whatever it is, and Kuzma was looking really iffy in the beginning of the year, like a little off, but now he's looking solid. Speaking of off, for whatever reason, I was looking at the Celtics, and Kyrie was looking. Has Kyrie looked off to anybody this year besides me?
Yeah, he's looking rusty right now, but I feel like he'll figure it out.
But like, why?
That knee injury, bro. I mean, speaking for myself, man, I ain't the same. And you know that.
But get out of here, man. We're talking about you.
You know that. You know that feeling.
But, I mean, yeah, that's true. But, that knee injury has been gone has been, like, okay for a while now. But for him to, because we all saw him playing basketball with the Miami Heat Stadium. But for some reason, Kyrie he's been looking off this year. And I'm not quite sure what it is. I can't put my finger on it. But it's like, he was missing shots he usually makes. Maybe he knows he's out from Boston, even though he said it. Maybe he knows he's like out because Boston doesn't need him to win, and it's not his team. That team, the future of the team is Jason Tatum, and there's no doubt about it. Automatically Jason Tatum's team.
That's fact,
so if Kyrie wants his team, he's gonna have to round up Jimmy Butler this upcoming summer and say, let's go to the Knicks, because that's his only chance for him to have a team of his own.
But
Porzingis is there too. You got a Porzingis is
over
there.
Kyrie
Yeah.
in a New York fan base. That don't matter.
Hey, guys.
Calvin, you were saying something?
I was gonna be like, yeah, don't they have Porzingis? Also, I'd also just like take the moment to say that I think Danny Ainge is a good GM. I'm also not a big fan of Danny Ainge. In that it's just like, outside of the fact that apparently he was enough of an asshole that back in the day Kareem Abdul-Jabbar broke his jaw. Like as a GM, it's like the thing is I don't know, it's just like he doesn't care about the players. I don't think, not really.
Okay. I'm gonna be real with you. If
makes
Danny
sense.
Ainge was a street dude, he would be the person who would he would have like the government wrapped around his finger. Like, I'm gonna do whatever I want. Like, you can't stop me, bro.
Yeah.
Like, he would be the kingpin of kingpins, bro. Like, Pablo Escobar would look up to Danny Ainge if Danny Ainge was a street dude, bro. Like, it's wild.
Yeah, business is business.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this one up, y'all.
Levi said, "Shut up and dribble."
Philip, go ahead and plug your stuff in.
Yeah, so this last week I wasn't able to get much stuff done, article wise, mostly because, grad school. But this upcoming week, I will do one game each day that an NBA game or NBA games are on TNT. And with that being said, that's all I got.
All right, Calvin, what about you?
I've actually had an article, like, I need to finish doing some of the research for it. It's like, the research is about half done. But I've also been adjusting to a new job and have generally been struggling in that regard. So, whenever I got it, I'll make it available. But yeah.
Okay. Levi?
Nothing too crazy, but I'm gonna actually get on Twitter with you, man, and go live with the NBA games, man, and analyze it, dissect it. But yeah, that's about it.
I finally got somebody to mess around with on Twitter because Calvin want to act like he got responsibilities. Don't nobody care that you got a job.
Look, on Twitter. This will happen. I'll get home. I'll be like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna watch me a game. Turn the game on. Yeah. Watch about 5 minutes. Wake up 3 hours later.
Ooh.
See, that's why they do double headers. That means you were wide awake for the next one.
Got him.
But yeah, let's go ahead and close this down. I got the Kobe, searching for the next great Kobe disciple coming up within the next week. Basically going over players who I think need to work out with Kobe so they can take that next step and truly be the Kobe Juniors of this next league. But again, you can find us at travelinghoopers.com. You can also find us on YouTube, where we will be uploading weekly at Traveling Hoopers YouTube page. And go ahead and follow us on Twitter, or as Calvin likes to say, subscribe to us on Twitter.
Look, I was in a rush.
At Traveling Hoopers on Traveling Hoopers on Twitter. And with that, have a great day.